GCO landed response mob start 7. Okay. Cargo test. Landed error. API. Here we go. We're going to rename this to landed response.
Yes.
And then we're going to add a new one, which is
Yes.
landed.
It's
Landings.
not landed. Yes, landings.
Love it. Okay. And then what does landed in look like right now?
That's
okay.
The data structure.
Got it. So is that how we do this? We'd make this a data-bearing variant with like vec branch?
JSON of that. Look at the function.
So now why did we have to do JSON? Like, yeah, I get that we're doing plain text here, but then we didn't have to do that up here.
We do that in line 72.
Right. And so I'm saying, could we continue to do that in line 72?
No, because not all variants are JSON. This is an enum. I think you can do that with something else that implements serialize. But this enum does not implement serialize. Only this variant.
Oh, okay. I think I understand. Okay. So that's... Okay. All right. That's fine. Let's write the code and see what it looks like. Okay.
Yes.
And then this, I think we'd like to rework it to not be a string, but to be an object with an error key, would be my proposal.
What? Sorry, is your screen stuck? Or what are you doing at the moment? What am I supposed to? Okay,
I'm on line 110.
This is later.
Okay. All right. Let's combine them. That's fair. Okay. So now we're just going to unconditionally return a landed response, or does it have to be inside of some poem thingy?
No, just landed response, I believe.
Great. Okie dokie. Then all right. The question mark. Okay, yeah, and then we're this returns result. So now we have to do some pattern match on this thingy or PR error. Excuse me. Okay.
This would be a let else.
All right. Sorry, can we do
the first
bottom
one
first? How do I make this happy? It just doesn't need to be an okay anymore. Is that it? Why is that still unhappy?
It needs to be a variant.
Oh, right.
Of that enum.
Thank you. So that would be landed response landings, and then that takes a poem open API payload JSON of vec.
I'll be right back.
Branch. Sure. Parenthesis. Does that work? Okay, cool. I think that works. All right, and then is my Rust powerful enough to do this? Landings for PR try into. Okay. PR number. Change that. That is a.
I'm back.
Hey. So here we need to say PR number, and then this is going to be like a let. If let, is that the way you do this?
Let else.
Let else. Okay.
I think it goes let pattern equals expression. That's the whole statement. So it's not going to be let try into the not only the right hand side. The entire expression is
okay.
the entire statement is let and then pattern.
Something like
that you're
that.
gonna match against for success, right?
Okay.
And then
Like
an
that.
else.
Else. And then
Else block. And in the
this would
block,
be
you
like,
gotta return.
okay, landed response, colon, not a PR. It's weird because this isn't specifically about, it doesn't feel quite right.
The into needs to be the expression, not just the PR. Line 73 before the else.
Okay.
That would be PR dot try into. Not the pattern,
Right here.
the expression. Yes. Try into.
Okay. Great. Okay. And PR number non-positive does need a plain text. To like that. To do like that. Okay, and now the issue is structure not visible due to private fields.
May I do some editing, please?
Next, go for it.
Where are we? There. Wait, it's the same file. This here?
Mm-hmm.
This function should return result option what? Oh, yeah, okay. This cannot match against a tuple struct which contains private fields. PR number. I think this is private.
Okay.
Okay. I can do this, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Where do I find it though? Like something like find references.
Yeah, I think it'll be in this file.
This.
Yeah.
I'll take this entire expression. And there's
Love it.
a from PR number non-positive error for landed response.
So we should be able to use into to do this for us.
Yeah, but we do this exactly in one place. So I think this
No
should not
reason.
exist.
Okay.
This implementation should not exist.
Sounds good.
So going back here, and it will return that. It's not self, though. It's landed
response. Okay, that makes sense.
And now I'll go back to that into.
Delete the implementation.
Fine. Yes. This is not helping.
Goodbye.
Okay. Next up.
So something I'm confused about with the code we just wrote. Did we actually end up creating a binding?
Oh yeah.
Anywhere?
Yeah. No, this is not a type. This is a PR.
That's the binding we created.
That's
okay.
The binding.
Awesome. And then
right?
We can change.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. Okay. Of. Yeah, that's the PR.
Okay.
Not sure why it says
that makes
unknown
sense.
Here. It says unknown because it doesn't know what you're trying into.
Okay. So do you have to type annotate that as a result of, or as a okay of PR number?
PR number at.
Whoa, at. This is a new thing for me.
This.
PR at. Whoa.
Yeah. Now this is a PR number.
Holy cow. I've never seen this at sign.
This is for solving this problem because you want both to match on the type and you want a binding to that value.
Interesting.
We could do, could do some okay here, and then you get a result, right? Like this would be a result. It would happen to always be okay, but
I see. Neat. I have one other concern question about this code. It feels like it's blindly assuming that the error variant here is a PR number non-positive, which I think is true today, but it could change in the future, right?
If it changes, you're right, because this is not a match. It's like okay or anything else, and
yeah, that smells off to me.
Then, if you want, this could be a match. If we could do let PR equals match. Match PR try into, and then fill the match arms.
Okay.
And then say if it's a PR, then return the PR. And that would be the. But if it's an error,
we can be specific about what type of error.
Right. Which is
PR not found, I think.
PR number non-positive.
Or PR number non-positive, sorry.
Error, and then we could do return.
Okay.
Response. PR positive with just a moment. That here. This. And it's notice that it's a return, not
so that really returns from the function, not from the match. Okay. That code makes more sense to me.
Yeah, I like that you're seeing these things.
Cool. Thank you.
I will deserve the blank line, I think, and I will
All right. This is like the basic Rust coding that I need to do more of. Because my brain shouldn't have to think about this stuff, you know? I should be like onto more interesting problems. All right. What do we have? Give me some errors. Thank you. All right. So now this thing returns.
No. Let's start with that argument. The try into is the wrong argument.
Oh. Try into
Line
is the wrong argument.
82. The argument given.
Sure. PR.
Yeah, that's...
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And now we're getting a result that we can also match.
Just
on,
remove
right?
that question, the try. See what you have. You have a result. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'd like to write code that looks a lot like what we just wrote. Let's see how this goes. Fill, match, arms. Okay. And if it's okay, of landings, return landings. Error of a very specific type, or PR error. PR not found, I think. Then we can take that conversion from below. That's this thing. Right here. And return that. Did it put that on 2 lines? Okay. Great. And then we got another one, which is wonderful.
Do you notice how much more verbose this is?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I don't think I have the old code in my head. I mean, is it really more verbose, though? Like, because we're deleting
it's more verbose
all the conversions.
Here.
Yeah.
The conversions need to exist somewhere.
Right. How do I get this missing matcher? Like, it's telling me about the missing matcher.
And if we use this error, we get like semantic conversions for very terse.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying you don't like the direction this is going and we want to backpedal and rethink the approach?
I think it's borderline. I don't quite have an opinion. If we had more error variants, then I would say, because currently we have, 2. We're going to have in the future. Currently we have 1 success type and like
2 errors and then 1 other sort of success type. The 204 not
so
found.
it's all very similar. So I don't. If we had more errors, then I would say, yeah, I should keep it in error. Keep errors in error land and have tries.
Yeah.
But even as a
You've got
rustation,
more
even
Rust
just
experience. You tell me.
Right. As a rustation, seeing this pattern at all, right? Like match, okay, something, binding, and then error, return, that's a try.
Okay.
But in order for that to be a try, the function needs to return a result, which is supported. And in order for the function to return a result, we need to have 2 separate types. They both end up being responses, but they're separate types. And but what's in common is that the So the early return is not like, that's part of the value, but the added bit of value that kind of pushes it over the top for being probably the right choice, try expressions, is the error conversions. The error conversions are declared with using from.
Right.
And then here you only get these question marks.
Now we could continue to put the error conversion somewhere else and use into in here, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or from, because if you use into, you don't know into what you have. And you need to do from.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But that would still have this match okay error.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't bother me because I just haven't written enough Rust, right? So like it doesn't, the match stuff, my brain's able to parse that. My brain is not able
You
to
want to
parse
try
the
both
if
and
let.
compare?
I mean, I trust you on whatever, like I can see where this is going. So I am happy to stop here and do the other approach if you want to try that.
Yes, I would prefer.
Okay.
I think this is not nice.
Okay. Mob.
You can
next.
do mob next on this and then another branch. You're not doing a landed response. I think we're doing our implementation of the 4, because from the moment that 404 becomes a 204, that's when this change is necessary. The variant changes, it moves from the landed error to the landed response. That doesn't exist yet.
Okay. But we could change landed in to a landed response right now, and it would just have one variant.
I wouldn't do it in a separate.
That's fine.
You're right.
PR not found. Here we go.
I want to be kind to you and let you edit because you're gaining Rust XP.
Sure. All right. Thank you. So we're going to call this a landed response. I'm not sure what we're going to do with all of that.
It's not a struct. Well, hold on. Serialize. Deserialize. That's going to be true for only one variant. And I think that's okay. Yep. I think you can just remove serialize and deserialize. Only those.
Okay. So enum landed response, and one of the variants here is landings, which has are we going to change this to include the JSON, or
are
we going to put just the vec?
The JSON.
Okay. That seems more symmetric to me. Vec.
That's right.
Okay. And then PR not found. This will be
plain text.
Sure.
Okay. Could you qualify plain text because it's coming from the same place as JSON?
I was just doing what we did here.
Oh, then it's inconsistent already. Fine. Leave it.
I don't know.
Well, then change JSON to JSON, I suppose, because now we're making an edit. But then it will be inconsistent with other places. We should really be making this more consistent. instead of the fumbling.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't written enough for us to have opinions on this stuff. So just tell me what you want to do.
I want to ditch this and make a branch where this is made consistent, at least in this file.
Okay.
So I don't have to look at this.
Here we go. All right. So we want to do something like that.
Yes, I think this file is small enough for that to be okay.
Okay. Great.
Right?
Fine by me. So now we got JSON and plain text.
But we have more stuff, right? Are you looking at? We have more like types here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a mess of text to my brain. There's nothing
Text
that like
search. Text search, colon, colon.
Okay.
See this poem web redirect, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
what
it should just
do you
be
want to change
redirect
this
because,
as well?
yeah, in this domain, I think we're good to have all these things.
Okay, sure.
Full options, duration, till migrate, poem route, right? Let's do poem route here. Okay. Poem middleware, add data. I think add data is not clear. I think we should bring middleware into scope and not add data.
Okay.
Okay, middleware data, that's fine. Or even poem middleware, because how do you know where the middleware comes from? Maybe by default it comes from poem, that's okay.
I have
From
no idea.
request. From request is what? What even is that? That's trait. I think we can bring it into. Well, bringing a trait into scope means that the methods are in scope.
Okay.
So that's a bit different. That has like more implication.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure that we want to bring a trait into scope unless we use the trait methods.
Okay.
What do you think?
Don't have enough Rust experience. No opinions.
Let's try bringing it into scope and seeing whether I don't think it's going to cause any problem.
Okay.
Request certainly brought into scope, right? Request body. Poem result, I think, should remain qualified. It's not the same as result.
Okay.
Poem error, service unavailable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what this is. It wasn't qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Poem open API param path. I think that should remain. I think param can be brought into scope.
Sure. Works for me.
What else do we have?
Landing for PR, branch new, be unused async.
New type should also be fully qualified because otherwise I wouldn't know what it is.
Object.
Also fully qualified. Object is a very general term, right?
Okay. Self.
Plain
String.
text. Plain text can come into scope.
All right. That's the bottom of the file.
Do you think that plain text and JSON should be qualified at least with the just like param
Holy
path?
Crap. Wow. Yuck. What was your question? Sorry.
Similar to how param path is qualified with param.
Param path. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Perhaps those types, payload types, should be qualified with payload.
Payload.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think you can.
I
I
do
think you
that here.
can delete that import, and that will
Merge
trigger
use
you.
of payload. What did that do? That did not do it. Okay. How would you get?
You delete that line, and then it would bring you to the missing.
Okay.
Not
Give me
found.
diagnostics. Here we go. Okay. And then I'd say
Qualify.
qualify as, and then I'd massage it into payload.
Yes. Perfect.
I don't think that's
Now you have JSON. Huh?
5. Okay. And then just qualify path. Lovely. Okay.
Is it all okay now?
Doesn't look okay. Jeez. Something happened. That's more.
How are they unused?
They definitely seem to be trying to get used. Maybe it's not making it that far and it's parsing things. Is there some stupid line that got deleted here?
What's the first error that you get?
Consider importing using one of the tuple structs.
This is a hint.
Okay. First
Let's find the first
error is this one right here.
What does that say?
New.
Oh. The trait bound is not satisfied. Okay, it's not
Maybe
satisfied because some item is
qualified.
missing. Go find a first error that we can fix.
Go find a first error we can fix. What
It's
is that?
probably one of these. Yeah, just find more errors.
Trait bound blah is not satisfied. I don't know.
Not this. Some next error.
Okay, that would be this here. Expected. One of 4 parens something.
This is syntax.
Okay, good. What's going on here? So
Well,
space
line
disappeared.
86. Oh, nice. Yes. And line 89.
How weird is that? And then plain text is payload, right? Jeez. Payload again. Ugh. Well, I don't know how I fat fingered that. Sorry for the waste of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Now, what's this hint? And are we gonna get a error about this?
Should find the you have 6 errors. You don't get in the editor?
These?
Mm-hmm. Cannot
Right.
find type. That's all of those.
Payload. Okay. Okay.
No errors, right? No warnings. Good.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So that hint up on top was because of those errors down below. I see.
Yes.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's ship this.
Next. Right. I didn't even use mob. That's fine. That's going to take a moment. Scope. What is this? A chore? I don't even know what goes here. Consistent scoping in API lib. Is this chore scope? Chore API?
Chore API.
Cool. Okay, I'm probably a ways away from a next flight check succeeding. Oh, look at all this uncommitted stuff. Would you like to
push this branch.
block on this, or let CI handle this, or just push it YOLO?
My machine.
Okay, great. So it's pushed. How about you do the CI? And then we'll go back to wonderful.
So
okay,
I'll leave the screen with you.
Awesome.
And I'll do a git fetch. And but which did you? Because I don't see a new branch.
Consistent scoping. Get pushed.
I do a git fetch. I expect to see a new
how about
branch mentioned.
There's now actually a new branch.
Yes. Okay, next flag check. I'll get I arrange notifications for like long commands on my desktop, so
nice.
Let me know.
Very nice. Okay, mob done, get stash.
No, it won't let me know because notifications are disabled when I'm screen sharing.
Need like a little noise that plays or something.
I think what you did, no, you didn't. That's Chromium does it for you, right? It's hiding.
When I screen share.
You screen share via Chromium, it knows, and that's clever, but that's really a desktop thing.
Yeah, and it's not the right fix because, like, I don't know, I started using like the Signal desktop app, which sends me notifications and doesn't know anything about if I'm screen sharing in Chromium. So I think it's fixing that at the wrong layer, in my opinion.
Correct, yeah.
Like my OS should know, oh, you're screen sharing. Maybe you don't want notifications right now.
Yeah, but now I want to change it to just hide the content, just like Chromium does.
Oh yeah, that'd be slick. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that's possible. And I'm sure the solution is very different on X versus Wayland.
No, I put it on a different screen, so let's see when it's finished.
Okay, mob start 7.
By the way, X is all but unsupported.
Yeah, something's gonna push me off it someday, but I still like Xmonad.
Walking the X11 pirate ship plank.
Yeah, I someday. I just don't know. When I do the switch, it's gonna be a whole fucking multi-week getting comfortable thing, and I just haven't. Not ready for that battle just yet. I need to feel like I'm more on top of things than I currently feel.
I would suggest that before you do that, you see if you want to take a look at the pattern of using flake parts, and then because before you do anything, more complex with your using Home Manager, you might want to.
Well, I don't intend to use Home Manager for this stuff.
I
don't know. I mean, I'm not like I just. maybe I'll find a compelling reason to use Home Manager, and that will be the thing that forces me to adopt that pattern. I just right now, pretty much everything is in the NixOS configuration scope for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Something's probably going to force me to learn more about Home Manager someday. But that's another can of worms that I am happy to not open right now.
It's still compiling on my end.
Great. Okay, what is this conflict? We removed PR not found from here.
Take the
That
stash
makes sense.
changes and then handle.
I don't know which one is the stash changes. This one?
Yes, it says one line below.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes it's above and sometimes it's below. I have a lot of trouble reading it.
And now fix the
400 and
scoping.
500. The 204 has been moved up there. Okay, great. Yeah, that makes sense. Great. Payload. Wonderful. All righty. Back to where we were. Payload. All right. I'll get one editor going. All right. Here we go. Show me the errors. There's no way that this is valid code. All right. So, landed error. Okay, landed response is what we want to be returning here. And I don't think we want the JSON specified here because it's instead going to live in the variance, right? Like
Sorry,
that.
I was, how do you say, log. Here, it succeeded.
Wonderful. You want to go ahead and push that to main?
Sure.
Thank you.
Git switch, main, git merge, consistent scoping, git push. Done.
Okay.
What am I looking at? Landed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Unnecessary braces around function. So I guess that's a tuple struct. Is that what that means? Okay. Great. That's something.
Yes, tuple struct.
Love it, love it. And then PR not found. That's this thing right here that it's complaining about. So instead, okay, well, so I guess here's my question to you. So we want to use question marks. Do we
Hey,
also want to be able?
I'm sorry. Just notice that the signature of landed is already had something strange in it, and that is that it's a poem result. We're not using really a poem result because if we're overriding the E with our own error type, we don't need to use a poem result. Just use result.
Okay. The only thing poem
See the
result is
type
doing
of the
for us is being a
type
result
alias.
with a default.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So we could change that to just a result.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. Okay. And then, so we want to use question marks as much as possible, but we can only use question marks for the error variance, right? For the multiple responses here, we can't get away with question marks, we have to actually deal with this with a pattern match of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But my first question is, I would expect to see some sort of result somewhere where we aren't like turning it like this is a vec branch, but the not found should be happening here as well, right? Like this should, yeah, this returns a 4PR error, which is not always question mark coercible into a landed error. I'm confused. I guess I would have expected the type here not to be vec branch, but to be like result of vec branch. Clearly not understanding something.
Well, try means you're not going to get a result after the try.
Oh. Okay. So how do you want to leverage question marks here? Because like what we've got coming out of the database layer is an error that is sometimes convertible to this error type, but sometimes is not.
I think the correct thing to do is to kind of reluctantly keep the 204 variant in the landed error type enum
And rename landed error to something else.
landed kind of error.
Okay. And that works for me. So we basically revert the changes here, right? And we rename landed error to something else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
I think so.
All right. Works for me. Get checkout dash p get fetch origin get checkout dash p origin main of this file. Oh, get at origin slash main colon. Is that the origin slash main? That there we go. Okay, we're reverting everything we've done here. Okay, and now instead of calling this a landed error, we call this a like.
No landings response.
Love it. Okay. Really? You're gonna give me an error just for renaming something?
You have to save all buffers.
Did I change
Or if
multiple
it shows up
buffers?
in any other files, after you do this rename, it opens buffers with all those edits. It makes the edits, but it doesn't save.
Mm-hmm. But I
Is
don't
that
know
true?
that that leaked out into anywhere else. Like it's only.
So, what's the error?
From PR tracker store is for PR error is not implemented for no landings response.
Did you? So you're surprised because you refactor tooling
Yeah.
edited this?
Oh, but look at that. Okay. Don't know what to
It
make of
missed
that.
one?
I guess so. Okay. Cargo test. And now this should fail. And then the bug fix is just to change this to 204. Okay. I see the error. 204. And running again. 404, 204.
Cool.
Mob done. Get commit. Okay, what do we call this? Chore? A feature?
Oh, this is not a chore. This is a feat.
A change?
It's breaking.
Okay. Beat, bang, turn.
And the scope is API. Before the bang. Am I right about this?
I have no idea.
Can you find out, please?
Return 204s for. Yeah, I will. When no PR is found. This fixes. Okay. And get log feet. We're looking for exclamation marks in here.
Mm-hmm.
Get log. Okay, I don't know how to search for exclamation marks. There we go. Feet bang, no scope. And then here we put the bang after the scope.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what we just did, right? Yeah. Okay. Get push. All right. And we have one commit on top of me. I can do a next flake check and rotate over to you.
Okay. I'll click screen.
Okay. It's all yours.
No. What? Is it still? What branch?
I don't think we have one. We just finished a task. So I'm running a next flake check right now. But that'll probably succeed.
On mob here not found.
It's not bad anymore. I did a mob done. It's just plain old PR not found 204. Yeah. Okay. Now there's a mob branch we abandoned. I guess you could clean up right now.
Let's see. Next, let's check.
Well, I'm running that right now, so I think we could move on to the next thing on your machine.
Which will probably be, if we don't want to increment, we don't want to push us to main, so we don't do more than, if we want to batch these breaking changes.
Oh, yeah, I don't care. Do you?
A little bit.
How do you want to batch them?
If we push them to main at the same time, we'll get only one bump.
Okay. So what's the next thing we're going to work on?
Good question. Issue list. The milestone? Doesn't have milestones. Is it?
I don't know. It might be a parameter to issue list or something.
I don't know what the milestones are.
Milestone number or title.
This should show us some milestones.
Milestone number is, the name is awkward because it's got spaces in it. So I don't know.
Do you know a word? Maybe it doesn't not need to be exact.
Formally with a capital F.
Nope, no such milestone. Okay, GitHub repo, view web. Issues, milestones, that.
Yep.
Okay. Consider a V2 API that, well, for the single purpose of switch, on top of this, landings, and what's it called? Endpoint.
Love it.
This succeeded. Test, health check. Okay. Landings. This way.
Looks good.
We should probably, health check is here. Should probably give health check its own file. Let me see if I can do that before I make this change.
Do we think we're ever going to want to support multi-tenancy, like scraping multiple repositories for landings with a single instance? The reason I ask is because it could influence the API design here. So we don't have to, roll out a v3 if we wanted to add that feature.
That depends on our users.
Right.
I don't.
So is your attitude like, we'll just roll out a v3 if we need to? Like, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. All this thinking ahead is not necessary. Not giving us value.
Okay.
It's a gamble.
Makes sense.
Like these. What I do like is timers.
And we are we revving the API? Are we gonna call this v2 rather than v1?
Let me just do this maintenance. Like, creates API, test, health check, and then take these two, put them here.
Okay.
And I believe this goes here. This is not complaining. And now I can call this landings, even though it's not. But this is all about landings, right? Because even if it's about errors,
Yep.
It's still landing errors.
Yeah, it's the whole API endpoint. Sounds reasonable.
Okay. So I'm going to move this to Rails API. And then if I do cargo test, I should see the names of these. to make sure they're still running.
Cool.
Oops. Okay. How do I? These are doc tests. Should I then backward search? Okay, landings and health check here. 2 tests. Okay, this seems right.
Love it.
Landings, 4 tests. This is the verbose one, right? 4 pass. That looks fine. So add this, get div staged. Health check is created. Landings. What is that? It's renamed. It's actually detected as renamed with this to remove. So that's fine. Okay. Skip commit.
Love it.
Split up. Rates. Yeah. Okay. Sure. API. Cool.
Love it.
So that's that. And now I can not start here. Now you can please ask that question again. What are we?
Shall we rev this to a V2?
Rev this to a V2. But our intention is to keep supporting V1. Is that correct? That's how we work, right? We don't.
I would rather drop it, but if you want to keep it, we can talk about it.
It's an opportunity to drop it because we don't have users.
Even if we had users, it's a breaking change, right?
Well, then what's the point of having V1 in there? Is that
so people
for
get
like
404s?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And like just conveying
sure.
to our users that we intentionally change things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I do not feel strongly one way or another.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We give a good error for anything under V1.
Maybe we could say, hey, that's not supported anymore or something. Yeah,
Okay.
that could be cool.
Okay. So as far as tests go, we have a bunch of tests with V1 in them. So here's V2. And this would be landings.
Sure. Yes.
And I think I'll search for V1 or like kind of slash V1 everywhere, but only in the tests now because
TDD.
2 health check remains slash V1 health check. V2 V1 commits V1. I didn't save that. V1 test. Let's increment this anyway.
Sure.
Even though it's. Oh wait, sorry. This would be landings as well.
Good catch.
Maintain that code.
And then same with the V2 right above.
V2 landings.
Mm-hmm.
Landings and increments. Implement landings. That seems to be it. Let's do another quick search for v1. README changelog implementation and another test.
Great.
That should be it. Nexting this.
Okay.
This is landings endpoints.
Okay. You can see I'm still running next flake check here.
Wow.
So this is, I don't even remember what branch. Okay, good. I will kill that. Have we pushed that to main?
No, because batching of.
Oh, right. We had that conversation already. Great. Okay. Git fetch upstream. Or why is my CPU still going at 100%? That doesn't make any sense. Nothing's happening right now. Yet I've got the Nix BLD user is going wild. Maybe not. Okay, things finally died down. Okay, great.
Cargo test. You might want to mod start.
Landing.
Endpoint.
All right. And we want to add a new test for /v1.
Right.
API test.
New file.
Yeah. All right. Great. So this will look something like old v1 API v1, old API.
Maybe just v1.
v1.rs. Apparently that's not what E does. My bad. Come on. Go away. Please.
Control F.
What does Control F do?
Yeah.
You go forward by one character?
No, it lets you edit that line and look at some history as well.
Oh, got it.
And now you're in Vim mode, so.
Yeah. Neat. Okay. So this is going to look something like this. Test JSON / API / v1. Assert status. Going to look more like this. This is going to be status code
not
add
found.
request. Not found. With the body of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we should assert on the body. How do we do that? Response.assert.
You have completion there.
Response. Nope, I do not have completion here.
Not there. It's a macro, unfortunately.
Lame.
Yeah, I think the correct implementation for such a macro is you use an attribute, and then it does not mess up your
R dot assert What do we want to return? This is that old conversation again. So we haven't.
I think it's plain text. It's an error 404 with some message for a human.
Yeah, I still feel like all these errors should be JSON, but we can do that. That can be a separate debate. Sound good?
It sounds good that it'll be a separate thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get you to agree to something. I'm just saying we will talk about that another time. Asserts that the response body is bytes.
Assert text.
There we go. Okay. I was looking for string. Text. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. Guess we don't need that anymore, and then just don't want
Yeah, there are actions for that.
Is it faster than me just doing it though? Because I have to like wait for the LSP to respond, and then like read, figure out which number it is.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Response dot. Gotta await something somewhere. That's annoying.
Yes. Sort of wait.
This
On
returns
after the method call.
Got it. Okay. Because it's got to read the body. That sounds reasonable. Cargo test.
Okay, let's decide what this text is.
Mm-hmm.
What is this text?
Okay.
API version 1 not supported.
Sound good? All right. And then we go to API RS. Yes, health check. That's not where it's going to go. Why am I seeing test health check here? Because we haven't actually implemented any of this. Okay. So why am I not seeing this test fit? Shouldn't I see the V1 test failing as well?
Sure. Is it where it's supposed
Do I need to
be?
do something to like include this test somewhere?
No.
Okay. So
is it where
really...
it's supposed to be? The file creates API tests. You wonder. That seems to be the case. What is the name of the test? It's called JSON. That's not correct.
That is wrong. V1 API on. That's not going to make a difference, though, right?
Call it. I would call it not found.
Okay.
Just not. Well, it's called V1. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. The test. You should be able to see it, right? Somewhere.
Still not seeing it. Unless this test is actually somehow miraculously passing. I think it's more
it won't
likely
pass
it's
the
not running.
assertion of the text.
Right. I would not expect that.
But maybe it's failing on the earlier assertion, not reaching the assertion of the text, so it is passing. Wait, no, that's not how it works.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. Is there like a file name format for these tests that we need to obey? I don't know. How do you debug this? So if I do CP health check, am I going to see that thing run? This test should fail. Also not. Okay. I'm thrashing around. You want to direct me?
Rotate.
Okay. Next.
V. Oh, what's the name of the test? V1 API not cargo test. That there.
Okay. The cargo test doesn't run it?
Right. API tests. We did not commit V2.
No, I did not.
Well then, if I do cargo, quite clean here. Clear. I don't do this often.
Reset.
And do cargo test. Who's to say that it's not in the history here?
It says 2 failed.
V2 API, V1, B1, B. It's not. It's not. What if we rename it?
Does not have a number in it? The only moderately interesting thing about it, right?
Test.
Hey. Now why are we only getting 1 failing test? Does this thing just stop after the first test that fails or something?
Possibly.
And we just changed the sort order of the test files?
Possibly.
Jeez. I am very unimpressed
Test.
by Cargo's test framework.
Going. No early help. No fail
No
fast.
fail fast. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Okay. Hopefully that one's burned into our souls for the future.
Okay. It's not. Fine. So we think we did all the tests, right? And now, let's see, get diff. That seems right. That seems right.
Yeah, I'm happy with the tests, and the tests are failing, so I think we can make them pass.
Landings. Landings. More tests for V1. Okay. V2 health. This is health check. I don't see. Okay. Making them fast. API lib.
Yep.
V1.
That's easy.
Well, I think we want to like. Do we document V1? I think we should document it.
Should we
So,
document V1?
yeah.
I don't think I understand the question.
We
We currently
document.
document V1.
Well, so should we? But we're kind of removing V1. But I think we should document it. Does that make sense to you? Like, document it still, even though it doesn't work. Document that it will always return 404. Because it used to exist, right?
I don't care.
So this shoots all the way to the bottom.
An escape doesn't take you back to where you were. Very annoying.
Yeah. Not here, there. So this like would be V1 and most stuff will be removed from here. I don't even know what's self. Self is not even needed here. Info API. I don't think it needs self, nor a param, nor anything like that. This is V1. And
just change that to
like
slash.
this.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that'll include everything below it. We will find out, I guess.
Can we do any method?
Maybe just don't specify a method? I don't know.
No, at least one. Well, we only had get, so let's keep it a get. No, right? We didn't have anything else.
Works for me.
And then a whole bunch of stuff needs to be removed from here and just return some plain text, right?
Sure.
And this is removed as well. Okay. And
Share screen. Entire screen. Boom. Okay. Well, there we go. Okay, and then this changes to V2 and slash landings slash PR. That's the change we're making. Then here, we're just gonna unconditionally return a payload, plain text.
I don't think you even need to even think just right, like string.
Instead of a
Does that
payload.
work?
I don't know. At least one self receiver is required, so I guess I'll add that. Return. I don't know the string types. Is it this?
Maybe stir, because it will be a literal. It'll be a ref stir. And
Right.
stir. Amp static stir, because you cannot return a temporary, right, like a reference, a lifetime bearing reference, if it's not borrowed from somewhere. That's a apostrophe, single quote static, right?
Okie dokie. The trait bound API response is not satisfied. So this doesn't seem like
so
it's
this
working.
does not work. Okay.
What goes inside of here? Just that?
I think you might be able to return just a literal here. Is that right? Because it'll like into.
No idea.
It does the. And you are missing a generic argument
What's the generic here?
of some type. Probably in that case, it'll probably be a that type ref static stir.
Okay, so what we've done here. So for consistency, we wrote this code this way. We should probably write
Does
this
this
code
work?
the same way, right?
Okay, sure. But does it work? Yeah, because it's no. Try wrapping the expression. Okay.
Okay. Boom. I do not want to give you a semicolon. Okay, great. Now, struct API v2. How do we want to do this? API v1. Great. Then up here, API. This is not going to be amenable to documenting two different structs. So if we want to document the v1 thing, we need to restructure all this somehow, and I don't know how to do that.
We can use two services.
Then we'd have two different OpenAPI.jsons.
We don't have. Oh.
And two different different Swagger UIs.
No. It needs to be one, isn't it? Okay, then make it one.
Yeah. Well, then that's going to get into what? Like changing the path here to just / or something?
Yes.
Yeah. I would rather just not document the v1 API. It's like historical information.
You foresee the prefix path as root being a can of worms?
Wasn't it a can of worms in the past? I don't remember the details. We can try.
Let's try.
So API prefix becomes /. This becomes API. This is /v1. Goes here. /v2. /v2. That doesn't have a thingy. But API. How far does that get us? API. Okay. Looks like I'm getting close to compiling. No async.
Yeah, I don't expect type errors being the challenge here.
Well, really? What did I do? Must be synchronous. What?
This function, async.
I don't see an async. Must be asynchronous. Just told me to make it sync. Okay. Different error. This is a warning as opposed to, okay, yeah. I see. So I gotta just squash this somehow?
Yes. See if you have a quick fix.
Nope.
No, but in the warning you have instructions. Kind of.
I don't.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yep.
Ignore.
Allow.
Wow. Okay.
Just put it on top and change
Change what?
to allow.
Okay, got it. All right.
But can we look at the where we use API struct? It looks like it makes sense. At root nest docs path nest API prefix. Well, so this is subject to precedence, right?
Yeah. So this is why I was anxious about this.
Well, we have tests, so right. So let's see whether we can get the precedence right. And
go for it. I was not anxious in the sense that we are going to break things when we merge. I was anxious in terms of, are we opening up a can of worms?
Okay, no errors, but we have a bunch. Everything is failing. So for we just get not found instead of API v1 not supported, which is
we should be getting to do, because that's what the implementation is.
This API v1. Is this what? Yeah.
So it's still it feels like a precedence thing.
Yep. Where do we have not found? Not found.
That's probably baked into
Here.
poem.
No. It's probably baked in because we don't have it.
Yep.
Okay. So which one is it, and where can I find? This is API. Find here. Not found. Okay. So we hit in this test. What is hit is v1, right? And we got not found. That even with precedence, this doesn't make sense to me. Or maybe this. No, even with precedence, I don't get it. Because at some point, something should match, and instead of the poems not found. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure that like the API prefix that we register on line 44 has any effect, given that we already registered something else for slash.
v1 prefix. Maybe it doesn't need a prefix. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Another thing we could do that would not be unreasonable would be to nest this all under slash API, which is a common thing out there in the world.
I hear you.
A little funny, given that we're trying to like give people a useful error message on the old API, but again, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with not doing anything special with the old API.
Health check. Okay. Actual is 404, and we got a 200. No, we got a 200 actual, yeah, and we expected a 200. So health check. This test where we're trying to hit the v2, the API v2.
Oh, whoa, wait. Slash API? Did we add that in? We haven't been nesting stuff under a slash API, have we?
That's what.
Maybe I'm getting really confused. The code in main right now, is the API slash v1, or is it just slash v1?
Next. Switch main. The health check.
That is not the code in main.
Test. It is API.
Ah, shit. Okay.
What you said earlier already is the case.
Wonderful. So I must have just deleted slash API when I was making this change. Because I'm tired. Okay, great. So maybe we don't have to deal with precedence issues.
Okay, I switched back. This file does not exist.
OpenAPI has a prefix path again. We deleted that on line 65, but I think
it does. API struct. It should have a prefix path.
Doesn't it in main?
API. I suppose you're right.
It might have a different prefix path now.
And then in the usage, we have add.
Yeah. So line 27, we can change to
this
slash API.
Remember. Okay, let's fix again. Health check, not okay. Health check, okay. Both of them fail. And both of them get 404 instead of
the
what
code
is expected.
The code in main, that prefix path on line 65 or whatever, is not slash API. It's slash v1. So I guess we would do just slash here.
Or without it.
Maybe.
Remove it. Not have a prefix. Whoop. That's better.
Nice.
V1 API not found. That one does not work. But I have fail fast, so all the things working. Next it.
Okay. Wait, this is not the code I'd have expected to see. Mob start 7.
You're on mob main. You want mob done?
Right, because okay. Get checkout. I don't remember what we called it.
Landings and
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, that looks better. Let's try prefix path though, in case it matters. Move it.
It doesn't even make sense to make a prefix path route. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, previously it was slash v1. It's relative to wherever it's nested.
Yeah, and then slash doesn't mean anything.
This is the same error, right? The one you just said?
Seems like it.
Okay, great. So that didn't make a difference. Wonderful.
We get a 200. The heck do we get a 200 for v1 API not found? Because we did not specify the code, right? We just didn't. So this works as implemented.
Perhaps.
It'll be on the...
How do we specify a status here?
So plain text means 200.
I don't know that it does it?
Yeah. And can you show us what...
Like, what is it about plain text that means 200?
Well, as a return from a handler, it means 200.
That's this code here. Send API response for plain text.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Got it. Okay.
Can you show us the OpenAPI spec? What? Yeah. So error codes.
You wanted to see the OpenAPI spec?
No, sorry, I didn't mean that. I
Oh,
said that.
what do you want to see?
I think right there on the method, we could possibly do an OAI status.
Status equals something?
No. Code? What is it?
We want a 404,
or is it...
right? Well, the unknown field status.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, for this is 404.
Unknown field status, though, right?
Maybe it's code. I don't know. Or maybe this is not how. No, this is not. This is not how it's done. I'm just thinking there would be, but it is. I think it's a tuple. Maybe the return type is a. There's a like let's see the docs for OpenAPI, Poem OpenAPI, because there is like a way to do this, right? Of course there is.
There definitely is a way to do this. Quick start. This is too simple.
Okay.
So
I think we're looking for the derive macro.
API response.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here, item parameters. You see item parameters?
Example status range. Here. Okay. Item parameters. Where is that? Oh, this. Okay.
I'm sorry. This is not correct. This is not the derive macro we're looking for. This is not it. This is for implementing stuff on types. We have no type for this. Mm-hmm. We're looking for something we can put on top of attribute macro open API. That's what we want. You remember that? This is what we're doing on the and then we're looking for
this thing,
right? And there, this OAI operation parameters. That's probably what.
Got it. Okay. All right. I'll see in status code here.
Yeah, but examples exist, right? So you should see something.
Method get tags.
Because so it's either via this, which is not, or it's via
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like this is the way to do it, I guess. Define an enum with one variant.
I think it can be a struct as well.
Struct. Okay. Shall we do that?
Can you? I'm still thinking this might not be necessary.
Mhm.
Because I'm still thinking that the types, that some information is derived from the type of the return type of the function.
Okay.
If you show us that function, instead of returning plain text, it could return like a tuple of the status code and the plain text. Yes, status code, and then choose the correct status. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, that takes care of runtime, but this will never get you the docs, right?
Sure.
But on the other hand, you cannot use a variant as a type.
Okay.
That's impossible.
Okay.
So unless there's not found as a type, which I don't think there would there be a not found. If you just type in not found, you get completion for
Function and struct.
no. Yeah, so this is useful for runtime, but not for Open API.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. We're going to have to make a struct.
Boom.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Drive API response, and this will be v1 response.
All right. What's up? Did you do it?
Doing the thing. See how it goes. Okay, so we've added this new type, this new.
Struct though, right? Did you try struct? You like
I have
failed?
not tried struct.
Yeah, I think it can be a struct. I
Okay.
would even expect it to warn you that you have a one variant enum.
This will have.
A
I guess this can
tuple
just read.
tuple struct because it has only.
Okay, and then what deriving would I do?
Pretty much the same.
This?
Well, there's an error where you just edited. It's a good practice to like save and look at the code you just edited, and I'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
Line 100.
Yes. Sure. Okay. Yeah, so this does not quite support the same things in the same way.
Let's see the examples. Is there no example for doing this with a struct? Yeah, derive. Well, that's an object.
It's an enum.
It's
API
an enum.
response. Yeah, the only example on this page is an enum.
Well, then, and this is the page for, but this is not the page for API response. Let's go to the page for API response. Let's see what. That's a trait.
Okay, where do we want to be?
Derive macro.
Derive.
It's the derive macro with the same name, but you have to. On the left, you have create items by category.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Item parameters.
Right. The question is, when it's a struct, where do we put this?
Enum, 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 enum. That's it.
There are no examples for struct. Is the word struct anywhere here?
Yes. That's a request, not a response. And then the struct, which is the whole API.
Huh. That's funny.
Yeah.
One variant enum. I mean, when you're implementing something, you go for the more general, all-encompassing thing, and then, well, it can be used. But could you? Derive. I suppose it's just not a thing, right?
Seems like it's not.
It like, but I would expect it to like not. Can you just remove that 100 and bring back that struct and then just remove the thing
So
that's
let me just do a mob done with this working code, or mob next, sorry, and then I'll fast forward again. Okay, what do you want to
try? I want to see what happens without line 100, because like,
response can only be applied to an enum.
Yeah, that's what I needed to see.
Okay.
See, because the implementation of a derive macro cannot just arbitrarily, it needs to transform the thing that is expecting to be there. So it cannot, you'd get an error if it's not supporting structs, and that's what I wanted to see.
Got it. Static stir. Okay, that's the thing we need to do here. And ref static stir. And this is supposed to return a v1 response. Okay, I think we're in business.
Seems like we won the precedence battle.
Yep. Go us.
Shall I look at the diff?
Sure.
Okay. What is the prefix path is removed, and we have this allow new function with this is somehow preserved. Right?
What's strange?
Allow clipping. Just the diff doesn't always do what you want it to do. It doesn't always see things the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
allow Clippy unused async. That's fine. And this is, we saw that's fine. This is strange that it does not like warn us about self is unused, but I think it's because you can't really like change this to have an underscore.
Oh, really? Self is
I
magical?
mean, well,
It's not just a name of a parameter?
yeah. I mean,
Oh.
I think you can like do self is, I think that's the, like, it is.
Oh.
Sorry, this, like the type. Okay, yeah, that's the equivalent. And it's still not getting a warning. But if it did get a warning, now you'd be able to do this, right? But no, it's magical. Even when you do it this way, it seems like it's magical.
Okay.
Because this is illegal. So
Good.
just let it allow it to remain this way. So we know what we're doing here. Here, this is just not a real change. This is v2 now.
Yep.
v2. That's the only change there. And now we handle, because we removed the prefix, everything is prefixed under either v1 or v2.
Right.
And it only has three things now. The v1, which is all this, but does this catch anything under v1 or
Good
just
question.
exactly
Probably
v1?
not. So you want to change our test to be like v1 / something?
Oh yeah, that's v1.
I bet this will fail.
Well, or health check.
Sure.
Or go test.
And then what I don't know is how to actually fix that. Like,
Yeah, this does not work anymore. Yeah. Well, this controls, right? So we basically need wildcards.
maybe. I don't know how to do this.
Huh. Well, we don't have to do this.
I am very happy to not do this.
Well, what I mean by it is like we had health check. We never, like, this was never a thing, right? Like no one hit this. This was not an endpoint. We had two endpoints and they were like whatever here, right? This is more like it. Even, yeah, this is exactly it, right? Like either health check or PR.
Matching across slashes, like maybe this only matches /landings, but doesn't match /landings /42.
But we didn't have landings in v1.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So this catches the two endpoints.
Sure.
And we can have two tests that like do health check and like the
Sure. Yep. I see no reason for this to not work. Maybe we need to have a parameter. Can we just ignore parameters like that?
All green.
Love it.
Okay. So we have like an unused parameter there. And we have this strange single variant enum. Status 404. And all the tests change their paths.
Mm-hmm.
Even the commented out ones.
Yep.
We have a test for v1 API not found, and more tests that change their paths. I think we're good.
Ship it.
Is this what? So this is v2. This is what we designed, right? This is good. You happy with it?
I mean, I would like to talk about returning JSON consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have to do that right now. We can.
All right.
I think we're past the end of our session at this point.
So here's the mob done. And here's a git commit. Read all this. Repeat. API. Breaking. API. API. It's like remove API v1 and add API v2.
Mm-hmm.
The breaking change. That's the breaking change. If you want to see what this API v2 has, then read the docs.
Sure.
And
Or
we have
read
no
the code.
users, so that's good enough.
Totally.
Does it close something?
Yep. Issue number 244.
This issue U244 web. Why? Because I want to take the URL.
Love it.
Because you like.
I don't feel that strongly, but thank you.
And okay, so now we can do something like this to push it to main.
Okay.
That's done.
Love it.
And now where's the repo? We should see the repo. These are globe. Yeah. Seemed like our milestone.
I think we've accomplished everything in the milestone.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now all that remains is the actual. And we did we even util look at the docs?
We did at some point, but it wouldn't hurt to take another look.
What are you building? Okay. API v1. So this is kind of strange, but it's a 404.
Okay. Sure.
And you get a string. Plain text, string. This is 200 JSON. So this didn't change. I mean, this did change. What 204, right? It means, in fact, shouldn't these have descriptions? Like this specifically, well, it doesn't have to. It has a semantic meaning, right?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know what OpenAPI supports. And then I don't know what the mechanism would be to write the Rust code to make the relevant OpenAPI code.
Oh, I think it's just description. But I don't think it's necessary because this has semantic meaning. Like this is unambiguous. There's no content for that PR number.
Sure.
And the health check. So I think we're golden. And soon enough, we'll get a release with this.
Cool.
And I'm super looking forward to deploying this. So we've decided that this is deployable for Nix package.
Works for me.
Okay. Do you have the permissions? Do we like? Is there something we should do between now and the next session?
Well, we can definitely talk to the infra team and see how folks feel about it. Like, I don't think they handle a lot of requests like this, so there isn't really a process in place for how decisions like this get made, is my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So
you want us to
if
attend?
I were to try to guess, like there haven't been team meetings happening lately. Like people have been traveling, and then I don't know. So I think like asking for a team meeting would be a thing we could do. I fear the feedback we're going to get is something like demonstrate that this is, works and is useful for people before we ask to deploy it to official infrastructure. And we're going to have to be, we can deal with that if that's the sort of feedback we get.
But we already got some go-ahead a long time ago from the Numptide guy. Sorry, what's his name?
Jonas?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Jonas isn't the team lead, and it's not like, I don't know, everything's a little anarchist in the Nix ecosystem. So, I think really it's going to come down to like if I think Hexa or Martin or York are down with it, or just like aren't opposed to it. I think is what it'll come down to. So I don't know. I mean, like I'm down to ask, and if like we get a hard no, I don't feel like pushing. If we get a sort of ambivalent thing, I might feel more okay going for it. And if we get that hard no, I'm down for us to deploy this ourselves. Like it wouldn't be that expensive. Can host it on some domain name that we control. Like
the alternative to official infrastructure is Nix community infrastructure.
Yeah, I know nothing about that, but that might be more amenable to what we want to do here. So yeah, maybe that's the backup.
Yeah. But okay, so all right, we'll do that between this session and the next one. So good work. Thank you, Jeremy.
Sounds good. So when is the next infra meeting? It is tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow. So I think the thing to do would be to post a message on the infra channel saying, hey, we'd like to chat about this thing on Thursday. So should I do that?
Let me see it on my calendar. I don't see it. Why don't I see it?
I'll add you to this one.
Don't see it. Is it private? Is it not on the general public calendar?
I don't know.
It's not.
I have my own copy of it.
It's just not on the... Or maybe it's been removed because it's not been happening, huh?
I would doubt that. I'm
Because
not
the
sure that
public
any of
calendar
the.
has a bunch of different things, you know?
Yeah.
It has NixCon, Nix team meeting, Nix marketing meeting,
Yeah.
and I don't see the infra at all.
Yeah.
So if you could invite me, and maybe we could talk to them about that as well. It's not on the calendar.
Yeah. So I just invited you to my copy of the event, and
Thank
then
you.
I will post on the infrastructure chat. Let me do that right now. At dawn, and I would like to discuss
It's 11 p.m. for me, but I will make the sacrifice.
Okay. I'd like to discuss. Okay. Done.
Nice.
Okay. Well, we'll see if anyone shows up. I'd rate it as somewhere between 50-50 and unlikely, but we'll see. All right. Well, hope to see you there. And if not, I'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and rank. It's not a podcast. You can't rank this. And consider sponsoring. I'm not sure what to say about like where to sponsor on my GitHub profile. All right. Till next time. Be well.
Bye.